Yeah, I'm starting recording this, inshallah, and we will share the information needed. So again, Cisna is trying, we are trying our best to serve you as much as we can, and we need your help to identify your needs, and inshallah we can start helping in any capacity that we can. One of the things, mashallah, Sister Jumana, I met her in ISNA Education Forum. And this is one of the good things, that you can meet people, know others, see the talents, and work with them. So Ms. Jumana or Dr. Jumana will tell us how to prepare our Arabic language learners for the AAPPL test and the Global Seal of Biliteracy. Ms. Jumana or Dr. Jumana is the Arabic curriculum coordinator and instructional coach at Al Falah School that is in Atlanta, I believe, Georgia.
That's correct, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes. So, so I'll leave the mic and I leave everything to Ms. Jumana to, inshallah, share with us the information needed. And this is, I think it's not going to be the only webinar, because this is like introduction more than just to give you idea about what's going on. And I think Ms. Jumana will be a helpful resource for all of us, inshallah, because she did it and she had the results. And most of our parents or our admin want to see, or parents want to see, oh, how I'm going to know my kid know Arabic, or can he speak with me? Can he text? Can he? So those questions, I think Ms. Jumana will lead us to something that we may need to do in our schools, inshallah. Ms. Jumana, go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm very happy and honored to join a Cessna webinar and be with you, all of you today, inshallah. I just would like to know if everyone can see me and hear me. Can you unmute yourself and tell me that you see my presentation? Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So inshallah, I will start with my presentation. Then inshallah, as soon as I finish, if you have any question, you can throw it in the chat bar, inshallah, and me and Ustad Ziyad, inshallah, after when I finish my presentation, I will be more than happy to answer all the questions. I will save a lot of time for you, for your question and for discussion, because that's what I like to do today. I will not be the center of this webinar. I would like every one of you to be the center of this webinar and throw whatever in your mind and heart, and let us discuss and talk about anything you wonder about, especially about these two topics, about AAPPL and Global Seal of Biliteracy. So let's start. Bismillah. Nabda. In this webinar, we will be talking about 5 steps toward awarding the Global Seal of Biliteracy. We will be talking about commitment. Okay, we will be talking about lesson and assessment. We will be talking about scaffolding, and we will be talking about a partner with a Global Seal of Biliteracy. You don't have to run out and read all of this now, because inshallah, if you leave your information in the survey, I will be more than happy to share this presentation with every one of you. So let's start talking about first step, comment to a rigorous academic program in Arabic language acquisition. To do that, you have to be able to understand, first of all, what is your task as a teacher. Because in Arabic language, in America, especially in foreign country, we have in the board Quranic Quran study, and we have Islamic study. Excuse me? Okay, I think someone accidentally. Okay, so we will be boarding the scope of the Arabic language instruction for Quran studies and heritage language improvement to include full academic credential that will enhance college and career opportunity across all fields. So during that, to do that, we need to separate Arabic language study from Quranic study. We allow each of one of them to support each others. Then we need to offer both Arabic language and Quranic tajweed and memorizations. So we strengthen the scope of the learn. Step 2, we need to base all lessons and assessment on the actual standards. Because why? Because AAPPL is balancing the 4 skills of reading, writing, and speaking in each level of Arabic. A lot of you, mashallah, do a great job when you do your teaching, but sometimes you do not balance these 4 skills together. That's why, for one reason or another. One of the reasons, maybe you have a big different group of students who some of them can read, but some of them is good at writing, some of them good in listening, and some of them good in speaking. But not all of them has the same level of these skills. That's why you need to differentiate and you need to scaffold your lessons. To do what? To walk through these 4 skills and use these 4 skills to support each others. How to do that? Inshallah, I will show you a couple of examples and we will talk more detail about it. In my presentation, you will see some of hyperlinks. If you see anything has been underlined, it means it has a hyperlink. I try to be direct in my presentation and do not throw a lot of information in the slide. But in the same time, I want all of you to have as much as you can from information if you are curious about reading about this information and know what is going on. So that's why I use these hyperlink tricks. So for example, here, when you paste all your lesson and assessment on the AAPPL standards, you have to be careful about your curriculum goals. And some of you mix and merge between the word curriculum. Some of you modify it as a book, the student's book, while it is not. The curriculum is the standards we paste our books on. So if you are, and for example, in the curriculum, we have to have the standards, and this is standards, we can take it from can-do statement. And we use AAPPL in America because AAPPL is one of the organization who it has been in the market for a long time, and they put together a lot of standards and can-do statements which we can use and apply our Arabic language and line it with these standards. Actually, do not do everything for you as an Arabic language, but actually it's the big umbrella for all the language. And your work will be, inshallah, to take that standards and statements and just apply it in your lessons. So if you click, for example, here on AAPPL, you will go to the website of AAPPL and you can see every details, little one and big one about AAPPL. You can read about the whole standards. You can download even the standards you want. Moving forward here, the only thing I want to show you here is the curriculum goals. If you click here in the curriculum goals, you will see here this chart, which is summarized and put together the curriculum goals. The good part about this chart is it's moving from low to mid to high in the novice level, and then give you the sub-level plus the level for the students. And it is go with you with the standards, how to use this one. This one is the standards or the can-do statement. You can use it with the low, novas. This is how we scaffold it up and make it fit the novas mid. This is how we word it and scaffold it up to match the high level of students who's in the novas. Moving towards the intermediate with the 3 sub-levels, with the proficient, with the advanced with the 3 sub-level, and go for. So this is here in my presentation. You can just, inshallah, when you get a copy of the presentation, just download it and have it. A part of me, when I work in Al-Falah with my teachers, a part of this assessment, we use the AAPPL assessment. What is AAPPL assessment? And what is the AAPPL topic? If you click here, you can go to the main center and read every detail you want to read about. If you want to do self-reading about what is AAPPL task, what is AAPPL topic, and what is AAPPL. AAPPL is هو أحد standardized will internationally known for the Arabic as a second language and other languages too. That's why when you look, when I snap this picture to show you this topic, when we talk about art, community life, culture, tradition, all the language who want to get this, they not just Arabic language, all the language like French, Spanish, اللغة الفرنسية، الإسبانية، اللغة Mandarin, Chinese. كلنا all of us نستعمل نفس التوبكس، نفس المواضيع، ولكن كيفية تقديمها للمستويات هذا الذي يجب أن نعمل عليه بما يطابق refer to the can-do statement. So moving forward, I was using the word scaffold when I was talking because scaffolding is the major, most important trick in teaching if you want to show a result with your students. So to scaffold course, if you want to build a course, if you want to build a material like a full unit, if your job is small or big, to scaffold course, you need to administrate a placement test to start with. Placement test show you the students' level, where to start with the students. A lot of us start teaching without doing this placement test, which make you sometimes be surprised that when you teach it, like some students will say, oh, I know this material is easy, and another students will say it is very hard. So there is two different opinions where is about completely different about the same lesson when you teach it. That's because when you start teaching, you did not do the placement test. So placement test give you a view, give you a hint where to start. So placement test is more than, it's for the teacher more than it is for the students. It's to know your students. I always advise my teacher when they start teaching, the first thing you need to do in the classroom, to know your students. And to know your students, not just their names and where they come from. The major thing you need to know about them is really their needs, their level. Another thing, I work my way in my career with my team to do is to create, you have to create a benchmark test. What is benchmark test? Benchmark test is one of the best way to give you really indicators about your students' level when you carry on with the learning process. If you would like to know benchmark, what is the benchmark test, you just click here and you will find here a lot of information about what is the benchmark test, and how to use it and what to do with. If you want to know more, if it's new for some of you, and if you know everything about it, so maybe you need to move to can-do benchmark test indicate, because can-do benchmark indicate, this is the benchmark indicate. which I show you, it is the piece you build all your unit or your lesson, all your curriculum on it. Because if you have these I can do statements, you can evaluate and level your students correctly. The third point you need to do is, one of the things we did is running record tests for reading. When you do running record, if you click here, you will see and read about what is running record and how we use it in evaluate reading. A lot of you, mashallah, did a great job and spend a long time listening to students reading and evaluate them. But if you are that hard worker person, I'm highly advised you to create a running record test for your reading, because this running record will carry on with the students and show you exactly and evaluate it and compare the result in between the first day in the school and the last day in the school in this year. Like, it's not enough to say that he is reading well. What does well mean? He's reading, he is fluent with his reading. Like, but what does that mean? If you did the run record while you were testing your students, you will have a specific result about his reading. How many mistakes he did, how much time he take while he's reading. Did he pronounce all the letters right? He did the whole makharij. How many words he read? Like, running record for me, when I do it, I can see that how many words students start reading in the beginning of the year and ending with how many words. The fourth thing is formative and summative test. All of you did a great test. All of you tested your students, but I think I don't know how many one of you know what is really the difference between the formative test and the summative test. That's why I put here a lot of information about formative and summative. If you need to refresh your memory or you would like to know about that, you can see more details about this. Developing teaching topic for each grade according to the student's language level. That is very important point, because doing all of this, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, leaded to create our course in Al Falah Academy. And I'm honored now to share this with you, and also waiting for the feedback. So the Arabic language course in Al Falah Academy, this is what we designed together to do in Al Falah Academy. When I joined Al Falah Academy 2 years ago.
What's this?
Okay. When I joined Al Falah Academy 2 years ago, they have Arabic 1, 2, and 3. 3 level for Arabic. Alhamdulillah, because since I joined them and we started lining up our curriculum with AAPPL and also doing all these kind of testing and observing for the students and measuring their learning ability and how much they learning year by year. In the end of that, the second year, we were able to create what we call this course number 4. We created Arabic 4. So if you look here, we have Arabic 1, which is credited for 2 semesters, and this is the description for this course. We were focusing in some topics, and these topics, we give it to the students of level Arabic level 1 to scaffold the material and moving on to a completely different topic when he is in level 2. It doesn't make sense for us if the students study for a 4 year, whatever learning he learned, we need to really measure his 4 skill about certain topic and then scaffold up the topic to push the students to learn and recycle the informations. What I mean with that, by that, for example, if I take the topic here if we talk about family and we talk about weather in level 1, in level 2, we talk about what we like, we do not like. We talk about daily routine. We talk about family in level 1, but when we move up to level 2, we need to scaffold it up. and take the family topic, escalate it up higher. And as I said, there is a sample of lessons I will, inshallah, share with all of you. If you move up with us to level 3, you will be talking about sport, lifestyle, opportunity to increase. This will create an opportunity to increase understanding, and always with whatever we do, we cover the 4 skills. Whatever I teach with my students needs to include the speaking, reading, writing, and the listening. And alhamdulillah, because we built and align Arabic 1, 2, and 3, we easily had open Arabic 4, which is the major part of this one, is to prepare the students to recycle all the information they studied and prepare them to pass the AAPPL test. By the way, if you are not familiar with the AAPPL test is not the test you need to study for. AAPPL test exactly like math testing. When you test the students' level in science, in reading English, when you test them in math and get to know their level. So it is the test where just measure your level of the language, not like I study today and I get the test tomorrow and I forget what I did in the test. The kind of test is just, you don't need to, it's like TOEFL test in English. It measures in general how much information you have and what is your level in 4 skills. So moving forward, all of this with Arabic 4, we administrate the AAPPL test as the final summative evaluation test for our students. And the AAPPL test as a standardized summative assessment, you know that it includes 4 skills. It has listening, speaking, reading, listening, and writing. It has it with the 3 different mode اللي هو العرض التفسيري والتفاعلي والتشاركي. We have it with interpretive and interpersonal and presentations mode. Here I would like just to share the Al Falah Academy AAPPL results compared to the AAPPL national report. MashaAllah, our students, if you click here, I share this material with you. You will see here in 2022 in July, okay, our students score in listening, speaking, advanced high, presentational writing, advanced high, interpretive listening, advanced high, and in interpretive reading, intermediate 5. Me as Jumana, when I see this result compared to the national average, so look at the national average. The national average, when it comes to interpretive listening and speaking, it's intermediate 1. Intermediate 1, it means it's intermediate low. Because the scale of the scale for the novice is from 1 to 4. Scale in intermediate from 1 to 5, and the scale for advanced is from 1 to 5. So now our students' average is advanced 1 compared to the national average is intermediate 1. And when it's come to writing, mashallah, they score advanced 1 compared to novice 4. Novice 4 is in the edge in between, as we say it's novice high, but it's very close to be intermediate low. So this is what I explained before, and scaffold all of it together, scaffold the materials, focus on the 4 skills together, lead for this awesome, alhamdulillah, result. So here I would like just to focus on how we use AAPPL score at Al Falah Academy. Like for me, if I go back to this slide, for me, I took this slide and I look where my students score high and make sure that I keep it up and supply with more material to keep them scoring high, and where they score low and why do they score low, and try to give them more materials and support the curriculum with more materials which cover this part. So how we use AAPPL score at Al Falah Academy to indicate, as I said, a learner's language ability, to know exactly their level. If they are novice, okay, but where novice? If they are in the sub-level, they are low or intermediate or advanced. If they are intermediate, the sub-level. The sub-level is very, very important. The sub-level is the part which make you differentiate your lessons easily and reach every sub-level of students. Another thing to establish is a baseline level at the beginning of the course. So I know exactly where I start, where I end. To document whether learners and programs are reaching a designed benchmark level. To test and see if my benchmark test is working or not. To evaluate the alignment of the curriculum with the actual standards. Finally, to award and appreciate and give the credit to the both of the non-herited and herited language. Now, earned college credit. It's one of the great things you can get if you get the AAPPL test, because you can apply to get the Global Seal of Biliteracy. Here's this is the information, and I quote this from the active executive directors. That's it's a lot. The AAPPL test, if you get and if you tested for AAPPL test and score with a certain zone, is like you are. It allows college and university to assess the level of their students and offer them college credit. But now, these 4 steps we went through, it will lead you to partner with the Global Seal of Biliteracy. Doing partner to partner with the Global Seal of Biliteracy is the easy final step. The hardest part is to align your curriculum and to create your lessons and get your students and test them and level them, then make them ready to take the AAPPL test. If you would like to know about the Global Seal of Biliteracy, feel free to just click here and you will see all the information about the Seal of Biliteracy and this organization and how can you even partner with them. And I'm really happy if anyone needs any help with anything of this information I forward for everyone. I'm willing to assist and help and give my advice. So Global Seal, it's a motivational tool. It is the tool you use to motivate your students to study Arabic, to give them a goal, to give them something they're hoping to do. So the Global Seal of Biliteracy in Al Falah Academy is one of the greatest credentials for the second language speaker who, if your first language is English. So Alhamdulillah, Al Falah Academy is the first Islamic school in Georgia to have students earn that international credential. It's a career international credential. Our students, alhamdulillah, work hard with their teachers, and the teacher help the students to get this credential. So I'm really very thankful for my school, for my admins, all my admins, for their support, for the board members also, because without their support and without the help and support also of my teachers, okay, and they're hard working in the class every day with the students, we did not achieve what we achieved here. So if I'm proud, I'm really proud with the staff I have, and I trained and I work with, and I hope to work with them longer and longer time to carry on doing and helping other students, inshallah, to be motivated. Here, I just would like to share this, what we posted in our Facebook. It is just a short video, so if you would like to listen.
لنا الليلة حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله على قار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله على طار الفرح نحكي حكاية حفلنا الليلة حكاية عن طموح كبير في رؤيتنا تفاصيله قصص وأيام عشناها تعبها وفرحها حلوين نعيش اليوم ذكراها سنين وكأنها يومين قصص وأيام عشناها تعبها وفرحها حلوين نعيش اليوم ذكراها سنين وكأنها يومين رؤيتنا تفاصيله معلمنا صنع أجيال صياغة عقلنا فن تواريخ وأدب وامثال يا ربي ترزق الجنة معلمنا صنع أجيال صياغة عقلنا فن يا ما شاء الله بالصبر الله 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 الله
Sorry, every time I watch this video, I almost want to cry. I don't know, I cry from happiness. Like it was a big celebration, and for the parents were very proud with students. The students, each one of them make a speech in Arabic and translate it to English, so who do not understand can understand. We give them the Global Seals, medal and pen, and honest to God, it's the huge happiness, the greatest feeling, the greatest joys I had ever in my life is when I got the news that they passed it. It is I don't know, I cannot really imagine that, but the only thing I pray to God and I wish that all of you who attend this webinar and who do not attend, that to have the chance to have the joy of your students successful, to see them really pass the line and did the challenge and prove for themselves and for others that what we learned is paying off. So benefit of earning Global Seal of Biliteracy. What do I gain if I did Global Seal of Biliteracy? Actually, Global Seal of Biliteracy is a credential that lasts for lifetime. It's the lifetime credential because it's unlike the scores for AP test or any other test or exam you take. It is also the high school students who take this exam, they can add this achievement to their CVs, resume, LinkedIn, all the social, I don't know, or educational websites, which is give them opportunities to get a better career or boost up their career and get paid better because he's doing whatever. He wants to be engineer, he wants to be in the politics, he wants to be a doctor. But if he do all of that, plus he speak the language, Arabic language, that will, inshallah, get paid back. So it's really a lifetime a credential. We should aim to give it to everyone. Students also may use this to get a scholarship or internship opportunity. Why? Because he is bilingual and he has an evidence that he has this. For the teachers and the student, what the teacher will gain when I get them the Global Seal of Biliteracy, It is a motivational tool. It's a great motivational tool. Believe me or not, last year we get this group, like 12 students, alhamdulillah, out of 14 passed the test. This year, I have Arabic 1, 2, 3, and 4. The students who's in Arabic 3, a lot of them came to me, talking to me, asking to be moved to Arabic 4 course to jump a year and get this credential. And while I was telling them that you need to take it easy, you need to build up and scaffold your ability, they say, sister, I think we waste a lot of time before, but when we see the students who's get this global seal of biliteracy, I think if I just focus, if I put more time, more effort, if I just follow the curriculum and do what my teacher do for me, I'm willing to take that challenge. So it is really, honestly, I see it this year in my classes, in that it's a really motivational tool for the students and also for the teachers. When you see the students coming to class like thirsty for knowledge, they would like to learn. What do? You just give them more and more and more and guide them, and walk with them easily and without any kind of frustrations or questioning yourself. What am I doing? Am I doing right or not? You have the tools which if you can use it, it can prove for you, for sure, answer that question. If you are doing in your class is right or not. It's to provide employees with a method, okay, about the biliteracy. It's if they go to the university, some of the university will accept that. I don't know about the laws, it's different a bit from state to state, but if you have this credentials, at least you can prove that you have this and my Arabic language in this level, I can get internship and move on in life. So our program is Falah now. Our program is presently only 11 and 12 grade students have earned the Global Seal of Biliteracy. But our goal is that all of our students will earn level 1 certificate, inshallah, because the Global Seal of Biliteracy is a 3 level of the certification. So it is a fluency, it is a functional fluency. This is the certificate level 1, and you have to score intermediate 4 to get it. Working fluency, you have to be scoring with the 4 skills, advanced to get it. And the third one is the professionally ones, and I cannot see it here maybe because I'm presenting, but it is in the slide. If I get out these like this, yes, it is proficiency, proficiency fluency, and this certificate is the highest level of the certification. And to pass this one, you need to do the OPI, is the Oral Proficiency Learning Test. If you are wondering about each one of these, you can just, as I said, click and see the link. It is talking about 3 of them together. And to make it even easier for everyone, if you need more information, what I did here, I put them here. Is like, this is the description about each one of these certification. Okay, now I have here to share with you sample of the AAPPL score report for the students. This is how you see the report, and reading the report is very important, because look, if you look, for example, the certificate, this is how the certificate look like. Do you still see my screen? Everyone
Yes.
can? Yes, alhamdulillah. So I just mark out the name of the students for, and I can see you now. This is how the certificate, you get it from AAPPL, from the AAPPL test, because after they get tested, they grade everything and send it back to you, the certificate. This is the certificate. So here in this certificate, you see that the students, this is the level of the students in listening, and he is intermediate 1. In writing, presentational writing, it is intermediate 5, and it is in listen in speaking and reading here, you see the rest of it. Okay, and now the most important thing is the report. This is the AAPPL score report. So when you see this report, for example, for this the students, it will be sent to you so you can see exactly what is the score description and the strategy, what is coming up for you. Like if this is students, he is intermediate one. Why? So what can I do after that? Jump into as many conversation as you can, especially outside of the class. So it gives you the solution. If he is here, why he is here, and what is coming up, what is next step. In reading, he is, mashallah, advanced high, but what is, even if he's advanced one, the advice is continue developing your skill by listening to passages that contain extended narration. Okay, and carry on with that. I will not go with all these one by one to show you or read it for you, because I put different ones with different skills, so to see what is the advice and what you can do it for the students. And by the way, the AAPPL test is not one of the most expensive test ones. It's just $20 per person to be tested in the fourth skill. And if you want to take out the reading, the writing, and the speaking, you can test them by just tested 2 skills to start with $10, and later add whatever you want to do tested or seal the student's level. Here, I just throw some resources. This book, The Keys for Planning, is one of the good, really book I read for a while, and I highly recommend it. It's one of the actual resources, and it's actually a part of 4 parts. Okay, here you can see the 4th part of the keys. If you are interested, you can take a look of them. If you're not, maybe inshallah, if we carry on together and with more webinars, I will be talking more specifics. This is another one. It's the World Readiness Standards for Learning Language. Also, it is really, really a good book to read. And now I would like just to talk about this slide. This slide, I did this slide, and let me go out of the presentation to show you. All of us teaching all the skills. The problem with teaching all these skills is sometimes I don't know with which one I have to start, and I read a lot of articles which lead me to start with this, start with that, do this, do that. For Jumana, from my experience now for almost 22 years, learning language 4 skills, it's 3 skills. All of these 3 skills circling around one skills, which is the main major skill, speaking. Whatever you want your students to do is what? To show you their level in the language. So you want them to speak the language. How do they learn to speak? They learn speaking the language through listening, reading, listening, reading. So listening, speaking, listening will make reading easier. And listening, speaking, reading will lead to writing. So that's how I start with my students. You could see things like this chart says, all of them leading to each other. That's correct. But speaking is the major one. You want your students to speak, so you need to find your way through listening material, reading material, writing material for them to speak, and also expose them as much as you can for listening. This is the chart also I created, because speaking needs to start. You need to listen to speak. If you listen and read and speak, listening lead to reading, listening, reading lead to writing. but speaking is guiding. It's the foundation for all of these skills together. Now for the sample of lessons, I have the sample for lessons here. I will unshare now, stop sharing. I'm almost like around my time. I will show you quickly some of these lessons. And then listen to your, okay, sorry. Share screen, yes. So for example, here, what I put for level 1, I gathered some material from the school, from what my teachers taught for the levels. Like if level 1, I give him this material and the goal, he can name the season, he need to name, but I start with the speaking. I try to recycle, show him pictures, present the picture, speak about this picture in which season, whatever. Then try to, speaking and comprehension. We do comprehension through speaking. How we do that? The title is صف الطقس, describe the weather. So I give him the word, الطقس, the weather is what? Give me words you know. Give me words you learned before. Then I scaffold it up for writing. So I show them the writing material, الطقس مشمس وحار. And then they have to write that. Moving toward the example for answers I give to my students. After I look to their what they will provide here and provide here, after I give them an assistant, الطقس مشمس وحار, then I give them example, الطقس في فصل الربيع كذا وكذا وكذا وهكذا. Moving toward conversation. Conversation related to speaking. Give me suggestion about the weathers. I'm giving a question. ماذا أفعل? What do I do when الجو معتدل? I have pictures. Let him talk about that, okay? And moving toward, give them example for the answers, pushing them to writing, because speaking, conversation speaking, I do writing by asking them to do their own, then supply them by scaffold what they do by giving an example. After they see their example, then they compare their example with the other example to see what they did. If you go to level 2, for example, let's review some materials here. Here there is a video. They need to listen to that video to practice listening. So listening and conversation, then talk with the teacher and talk to each other about that. The slide after that, it says reading and comprehension, because what the teacher did is take part of this video. Okay, this has an audio for and so it takes this part and the reading and comprehension now. The students read it and try to ask and answer a question, going back and forth between the teachers and the students with the groups in each other's. But this one has been supplemented with what? With vocabularies. So this is the vocabularies. What is this word here? We give them the meaning. But first of all, we try to let them figure out things and related through speaking and discussing. So break down the lesson like that and carry on doing what you are doing. For level 3, we level it up, we scaffold it up. The level 3, we start giving them some grammar. Like here, they need to review what is this? This is the جمع مذكر سالم, جمع المؤنث السالم, جمع التكسير, because they study all of that in level 1 and 2. Here it's just reading for the reviewing and warming up. Moving up to do what? The students do. The students need to do this. The students need to write their sentences. And to prepare them for the AAPPL test, this is what we did. We started training them to type. So alhamdulillah, high school students, all the high school students have their tablet computers with them. So we share the document with them. And in this document, they start writing their names, writing their sentences, and it will be shared with everyone. Everyone can see everything and the teachers. So give them information, yes. Now their reading part that they read about grammar in Arabic, a part of their challenge. we create a Quizlet for them. Like, see, you see that Quizlet, they practice it to do كوكب الأرض يضم الكثير من الأشكال الأرضية. It's a very high level of sentences. They know what does it mean. If some of them struggle with reading, they practice reading, listening here, and the teacher records their voice in every word in this once. Moving up here, let's work together. The classwork always working together. When you put it together, it looks like this in the chart. This is what the teachers see. And don't tell me that says like, what if my school does not have computer? You can do that manually by give them worksheets. So here the students jump in, each one of them write his name, then write the sentence, then al-mudaf, then alamat al-jar, and carry on. When I am as a teacher see this, I know where is my students. Moving, speaking, but it's a game. This is the word war. It's a game. I use the games with them to improve their speaking. So if I click here, it will give me صحون. المثنى, what is المثنى? المفرد, ما المفرد? Moving up with these games and doing whatever I want to do in my class with my students. So expose them to listening and comprehension videos. Okay, this comprehension videos, moving to speaking and comprehension, they need, then moving to writing. Look level, اكتب قائمة وجباتك الثلاثة لعطلة نهاية الأسبوع. He need to write. Why? Because this one was targeting something about food. Moving up, I find my students, mashallah, they are working, so I scaffold it and I add more materials. I give them reading comprehensions, passages, dialogue, followed with questions they need to answer, and I always put them in a group, so they do speaking and answering it. I give them some tools to write. Before give them what? Before give them the main material here. Like, look, I give them this, then I ask them for writing. أنت في رحلة إلى الهند. You are traveling to India, and during the long flight, hours, they will serve you 2 meals. So which kind of meal would you like? This is the word will support you. So I give word to support you, but the ideas has been done in the lesson. Moving with this unit, I go back, listening and comprehension. من طرائف جحا. It's a video talking about like Juha and his what he did in the restaurants. This video did reading and comprehension, and always let's work together. We'll put them together in a group. They work. They type the questions. They answer the questions, and they put their names. So that will help them to improve more than one skills. Moving up, tell them who's Juha. Then give them a project. Funny ones sometimes it's not. It's like you need to do something with these students. One more thing I need to share, inshallah, and then I'm ready to have the questions and the answers. Advent, okay, share. So this is for Arabic 1 moving to Arabic 4. If in level 1, for example, we teach them about كرة القدم الأمريكية وسكرز and كرة القدم العربية, So what is the difference between them, and in the middle, what is the similarity, what is the difference? Then I go with them to this is what speaking, okay, then comprehensive. I put a lesson for them here to read this dialogue. So I connected this dialogue. They will read it together and write their questions if they have questions, or which is the word they didn't know. Then we have the writing is speaking, because writing is speaking, and this writing is speaking, what they do this. There is the questions here. They start answering it, typing the answers in their folders, okay, then share it with others. Then I give them have fun watching funny sports situations. So whoever finished before the other one and have more time, he can watch this. With level 2, I do this. In level 1, they study about shopping, they study about numbers, and they study about weather, they study about all of this. So I level it up with level 2 to mix and merge a lot of topic together. So when I do for speaking, I throw here some question for the students. It's like, what did you see in this picture? Describe any of these pictures. Do you know what is the price for some of these items? When we wear these items, which kind of country wear these kind of shirt or t-shirts or blouse or whatever. So I start doing that, then provide them with material for conversation and reading. Then I do comprehension, speaking and writing. Why? Because I want to move the students to do this, answer these questions. Then I do the writing competition challenge for them. I said, this is their time, write about one day shopping with your family in summertime. So the students here, he needs to use, recycle all the words he learned about shopping. Shopping could be shopping for food, could be shopping for clothes, could be shopping for electronic items, any kind of shopping. It could be in the city, out of the city. In summertime, he's now connecting the all the vocabulary, calling everything about the summers, all the words about family. So, and we will pick the 3 winner in the class, be the one. So encourage him always to do that. Now in level 3 also, we'll start doing research. Let the students, give the students 15 minutes at least to do research in Google and collect and gather information about the topic you are targeting. Like here is like the Middle East, comparing marketing in different countries in the world. So you give them this time, let them search, don't always provide them with the information. Let them gather information, and then that will make them more motivated and engage with you in the class. So you start talking about what data they collect, then you move on to your pictures, and you are here like choose a market in Riyadh and market in Yemen. Then you talk about this. Okay, do you know about this? Do you know about that? Okay, if you do not know about this, who knows about it? Gather the information in Arabic. Then you can do all of that by throwing a file for them to do this together. So every one of them here, sorry, let me share this with a bigger view. I'm sorry. So here, what we see here, okay. Let me see if I can. Okay. So I cannot present the whole screen while it is. Yes, now I did. Okay, so there is a Saudi and a Yemen, and there is the students. Look at the name of the students and look for the data they gather together. So each one of them gathers some information about this country, which will be the data. Then the teacher will work with her students to look at this data and group them together and let them talk about it and fix also the mistake they did. And this has been done for similar, more than that, to force to let the students do not, the first one to set the pace and teach them and learn them the steps, and then to move up with the second 2 countries. They will work by themselves, and the third one, they will be really, they do not need your guidance. They need just your observation to see here. Here is the third comparing between the 2 marketing for you, could be a test for them to see you are as a teachers, where are they and what can I do for this unit, if I can move forward or not. In some of the lessons, what we do is to start with listening. And to start with listening, look, I have a written paragraph. I have a written lesson. But what I do is to create an audio for this lesson and start just while showing the students this slide listening. So I play this and I said the students.
التسوق من ضرورات الحياة التي يمارسها الإنسان بشكل دائم.
So they hear their teacher's voice listening. Then the teacher will interact with them and ask some questions. What did you hear? What did you pick up? What was familiar word? Tell me a sentence. What is the idea? Blah, blah, blah. Carry on doing all of that. Then moving on to the next part of the lesson. So after you do all of that listening for the purpose of speaking. So let them listen, postpone, chunk by chunks, piece by piece, and talk about all of that. Then moving to the lesson, which is now what my target is, reading and comprehension. I want him to read. Why? Because I need to move him up to do writing, answering these questions, moving up to do this, speaking and writing. He needs to write a paragraph. And I'm guiding that paragraph by giving him, feed him with some question about and about. So now in Arabic 4, it's almost the same idea with a bigger issue. Here, I start with the speaking about the Al-Watan Al-Arabi. And if you click here and see the folder, this folder will be having more material about what is going on. Compare now America to Al-Watan Al-Arabi. So level 3, they study and compare the Arabic country to each other. Now in Arabic 4, they can compare now. They know the strategies. The only thing they need to do, they know how to search. They know what to do, have been trained. They need to do it between America and look, all of these samples is students wrote this. I just throw it here to let you see without editing it yet or fixing their mistake, to see that they are capable to do. The students are capable to do when you push them to do, really will be pushed and do what you want to do and go beyond your expectations sometimes. Then the students do in a group, they want to do this. I can compare and contrast American and Arab country routine. Now in a group, they speak to each other about that, then do this, writing, but / typing. You need to, if you want your kids to pass the AAPPL test, you need to start pushing them to do the writing, typing. So they need to write and compare and do the talk about all. I give them the feedback and I send in, don't forget to write about someone you may from a different culture that you may meet, and about a funny situation that happens or a problem you have been told about. So I throw some ideas and leave the door open for all of them to do what they want to do. This is the summarize for what I did on the top. Speaking, lead to reading, read to writing. So speak about the lifestyle in the US compared to the Arab world. Will lead to search for any reading materials like story, article, paragraph about lifestyle in the US compared to the Arab world. That is the reading material we'll read to writing. Right now, a paragraph about someone you met, and I give them more information with more detail about what they need to write and what to do. Thank you for listening to, and I hope I did not make it boring.
Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. There is, mashallah, a lot of information. And may Allah give success to your students and all our students too. I'm jealous. I want to do the same. So, inshallah.
Akid, Ustaz.
Yes, I have people who raise their hands.
Yes, if you collect any questions, I'm willing.
And there is questions in the chat. So I'm gonna do first question in the chat. It was about, I think, It's about your students, are they heritage student or mixed or how, what?
Actually, my students are mixed, but the majority of them are non-heritage.
Okay.
Yeah, non-heritage. And these students who pass the AAPPL test are mixed and merged. Some of them Pakistani, some of them are Indian, and like our school famous with, like, we have, I think, around 20 different nationality.
Yes. There is a
And
question.
actually, just to finish my idea is, the people who do not pass are heritage language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a question, which books or resources do you use?
Okay, for the resources, honest to God, it's everything for me is a resources. The only thing I do is I'm not stick to a book. I do not use book with my teacher, with my students in this school. I use just AAPPL standards, and according to AAPPL standards, I create my lessons with my teachers and bring the resources from all around the place. Like with this presentation, maybe you saw some articles comes from the internet, some articles come from different books. I'm not saying books are not good. Books are great, but if you want really to teach non-native speaker Arabic in the language, you need to follow the standards and cover the standards from wherever your hand reach out for the materials. So everything could be a materials. Culture is material. Broadcast, there is some of it from broadcast, some of it from websites, some of it from books, some of it we and my teachers, we created, we put it together, because this paragraph need to match this. You know, when you teach in an area, the first thing you want to do is to, when you choose your topic or when you create your materials, to make it related to the student's life. Like a lot of paragraph start with أنا طالب في مدرسة الفلاح الأكاديمية، أعيش wherever، صفي كذا. In this time I go to the cafeteria, my schedule is. So the way when you teach these little things and make students write their own, this is the greatest curriculum material, because you see your students behind with this area. Okay, there is no book will cover it. The book cover topics but does not cover weaknesses. So if they are weak with this, I need to grab some materials from another book. Another thing, if you have a book, you swim in a river when you teach. When you have the standards and you collect your resources from everywhere, you swim in an ocean.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair. Okay, Sister Majida Abdul Karim, please go
Assalamu
ahead.
alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Thank you so much, Sister Jumana, for this wonderful presentation. My daughter is a student there, so you all doing phenomenal work. Really quick question, mashallah. You mentioned that when a student gets a certain score, I think on the AAPPL test, they're eligible for college credit. So the question is, what is the score and when does this college credit piece come into play with the AAPPL assessment?
Yeah, the score is depend on, look, I cannot like answer this question about all the states, because as we know, the law is different from state to state to state. But for us in Al Falah Academy, our goal from using the AAPPL test is to give them that Global Seal of Biliteracy, which is international credential. As you know, we are a private Islamic school. When I start working with Al Falah, and the first thing I started, I said, oh my God, they study Arabic from kindergarten to high school. MashaAllah. What is the benefit of that? What do you gain when you finish studying all of that if you are stick with this school, or if you join the school in middle school and going up? You have to have something to take with you out of this school after putting all this effort. And especially, you know, we study language to support our learning about Islam and reading Quran. So that was my first step, is they need to get the seal of biliteracy. But unfortunately, according to the law, the government allowed for the public school. They can't get the seal of biliteracy. This program has been there for years and years and years. And unfortunately, also, a few people has been passed it in Arabic language. So that is when I came with the ideas. I start with my principal, Sister Yelena Naim. She doesn't want me to say her name, but I cannot say just my principal. She's my principal and my friend and my companion and my support. So Sister Yelena and me and we talked. And I went to the point that I want to create a program for seal of biliteracy, because you can create your own. But when I started this process, I found that something is better than what Jumana will create, because what Jumana will create, this is like will be a college course, or it will be, you know, something you use at Al Falah Academy. But when I start doing researches and doing my work, I find this global seal of biliteracy, which will give the students international credential, even better than the seal of biliteracy of the United States, of the government, because this global give you wherever you go all around. And when I look at my school, as I said, we have different nationality, mashallah. So I assume maybe one of them will need to go back to his country or serve his country or get a job overseas from America with a branch of the country, of his company in the country, right? So why not? So that's when I said, okay, let's go and get this global seal of biliteracy, because it's more benefit for the students. When you really want to serve the community and the students, you need always to be open-minded and think openly, and how much they will get benefit of it, because how much it's benefit them, how much it's make them commitment to do it, make them motivated to earn it. And now related back to your questions, this credential, when they move on to the university, this is what I'm working on this year, because the group of there is a group of 12th grade students just moved to the college. Okay, that's what me and sister, my principal, my VP, my vice principals also, is we are now thinking about how can we build the bridge between the schools and the university, to make what we do in the school benefit in the university, and see how the students will benefit out of that. And by the way, when the students study Arabic 4 in my school, Arabic 4, they get 5 points. So it's like when the Apple give them the AP class, when they study extra class, AP class, they get 5 points. If they study in the school like Arabic 4, they get credits for like 5 points. And that was like an achievement this year. So sister, inshallah, in this year, if not this year, moving up next year, inshallah, you will be hearing more information about the university, especially I'm talking about Atlanta, Georgia. But if anyone in other states has any other information about their states and they can like benefit of it, why not? Let's get in touch. Let's keep this going on. Open the channel for communication to do the best for the students for all around America.
Also, if your Arabic program is strong enough, kids can be tested in the language and pass it. So I have my daughter pass the Arabic test, so she doesn't have to take that course. So I think if your program is strong enough, that will help. And hopefully we'll work with Ms. Jumana to see how can we help as CISNA too. I'll move faster a little bit. There is a few questions about the standards. Can you share some standards from your school, Sister Jumana?
Yes, of course. The standards is actual standards, and I'm willing to share it with whoever. When in the end of this presentation, before I send it to everyone, I will put my email. So everyone's, or now I put it in the chat, who is interested really about the standards, want to talk more about, let's talk about it to benefit your school, because sometimes, you know, the standards is general, Ustaz Ziyad. So I would like to help you. If I give you the standard, I will pass, you know, the standards for you, but also you can reach out and we can talk about your specific issue in your schools, how you design the classes, what you need, how can you apply this and that over there. Is that good?
Sure.
Enough?
Okay, in the chat, there is 2 forms. One for Ms. Jumana. If you need the presentation, she will be able to send you, because she's gonna have your name, email. So she will send you that. And I put another one from me, that is to send you a certificate if you are interested to receive a certificate for this. I'll continue the question. There is a question about, do they type in Arabic, your kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to see them, mashallah. And I was really with their teacher, Sister Alia, and other teachers, Sister Rania, Sister Zina, and Sister Abir now. Like all my teachers, like some of them was surprised when I said they need to type. When they start, they said, no, they struggle with, but mashallah, like when they start, kids like to do this. You know, Ustaz Ziyad, to make the language more accessible for the students, they need to use technology. Because now, if I'm with you, they write on piece of papers. Some of the assignment you saw, he needs to write in his notebook, because we cannot divide this and that. But we share. Like we make him do writing, handwriting, and he do also what? Typing. Because that will, it's one of the skill, it will help him to pass the AAPPL test, because AAPPL test is a timed. So he has just 45 minutes to answer 40 questions, writing essay in writing. So if he cannot type fast, he will run out and do not get the AAPPL test, not because his ability is not enough, but his skill is weak. This is what we call it is support skills. Yep.
Okay, there is a question. What is the steps for the students to do the AAPPL test?
This is a big question. This is we need actually like 2 or 3 webinars.
Well, yeah,
so
we'll
really,
push.
If you
We'll
want
push
to
that.
know this step, and I walk you with her, not just step by step. It's like if we do, as you know, Ustaz Ziyad, he is, what can I say about him? He wants to do everything for the Arabic teacher in Cessna. It's like he wants to bring all the world and put it between their hands.
Inshallah, yes.
And I was saying, Ustaz, this is too much. It's like we cannot do all of that with 1 webinar or 2. So that is the chat between me and him. We are, inshallah, we will work together, because I like working with him.
I think personally, next step will be, if the school interested, if there is some people who is interested, please email us. So we may do a series of training that we share with you materials, we share with you how to teach and all the details, because we want you to use it, we want you to be successful. There will be a fee on that one, but it's not going to be that much fees on this. But I think Ms. Jumana is willing to help, you establish something. And this is, again, it's not 1 year program. Yeah. You have to have it at least for 4 years to see the results. And I think it's worth it. It's worth it because I'm sure if I have any principal here, everyone will ask, parents will ask me, can our kids speak Arabic? I don't know if we can answer that question, because we know with our curriculum that we use, we really don't have strong curriculum, unless if there is, of course, some successful stories. Inshallah, we can hear those successful stories. I have
Another thing, Ustaz Ziyad, if inshallah, as I talk to him, this is like what we will talk with me and Ustaz Ziyad about. If we do this training, I'm the kind of person, when I do training, I do not just feed you the fish. I teach you how to fish. So I walk with you step by step. So when you work with me in one of the sessions, you will be finishing the session with the material. Really, you will be used it next day in your class. That's what we were talking about. I do not like to lecture, that's why it was hard for me to do this webinar, honest to God. Just giving information, general information. I'm the ones who like to see the whole idea and take it piece by piece. So if we were, for example, 5 or 10 in that webinar, I will be passing topic for each one. And I say, this is step 1, 2, 3, you need to do it. So when you finish this step, you will be having the material to apply it, plug it immediately and teach it in your class. And if we are 5 or 6 or 10, for example, in this webinar, so each one has a topic and I work with all of you in the same strategies, but develop different topic. That is a 10 full unit or lesson plans. This group in this training will be sharing all of them. So you will be teaching what your partner created, and you will passing what you do for her, and she will be passing with a 100% guarantee that it has been aligned with the right standards, it matched this level of the students, and also you will be having me or other to talk about these pieces piece with piece. It's not like a session or a conference. I will go and meet and watch and then go back to my room and do not bring anything from what I watch or listen to apply it and plug it immediately. This is, Ustaz Ziyad, is the problem. We watch a lot of webinar, we go to a lot of conference, they hand the teachers hundreds of value things. The problem is the teachers will be burned and their shoulder, it will be a big burn in their shoulder because they need to take it, then break it down to apply it in the class. That is the step where it makes the teacher do not do it, do not apply it.
Sure. Sister Jumana, she is not the only one who teaches Arabic at that school. So she trained people and they are implementing what she is, thinking of. So the purpose behind this is to start this, give you idea. If you want to continue, we can work it out, inshallah, with Ms. Jumana. Sister Lina, go ahead. You have a question? I'm going to end at 12:30. So we have 7 minutes. So, and Jazakumullah khair for the comments. We have, mashallah, good comments. And inshallah, we'll share with you all the information you need. Ms. Jumana, do you have your email somewhere, or
I'm writing this down. It's my name, Jumana.Wilson.
Yeah, type it in the chat, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
at Al-Falah.
Ms. Lina, you can unmute yourself, or I can. Okay.
And I don't mind to share my phone number also.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah khairan. My thing that we can possibly work all teachers and yourself. If anyone is attending AAPPL this year, we are sick. I'm a vice president, along with Nada is the president. We are really advocating towards a seal of biliteracy, and we feel that there is a lack of understanding how important to enable our students and grant them seal biliteracy, whereas other languages, they are way ahead of us. So if anyone is attending, please attend a special interest group, SIG, under AAPPL, and we are going to work, and we want to kind of recruit several teachers who are really thinking of advocating and working towards pushing this seal of biliteracy in all states. As Jumana mentioned, not all states address or acknowledge seal of biliteracy, but we want that to happen, especially with Arabic. So thank you so much, Jumana. It was a wonderful presentation. I'm glad to hear there is a school such as Al-Falah, successful and based their career on AAPPL.
Thank you, Ms. Lina.
Thank you,
Please
Anyone who is
provide
attending
us, share-
AAPPL, connect with us. Thank you.
Yeah, share with us on the group if you can, or email me. I'll send the information. It's very important.
Yes,
really to
I will
support
do
them.
that, and I will send you all, let's say, sessions, Arabic sessions that it's really interest for our Arabic teachers who will attend AAPPL. Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Riyad.
No problem. I advise everyone really to attend and benefit. Okay, Sister Lubna, go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Jazakallah khair for the very interesting and enlightening presentation. I just have a question. Creating your own curriculum and developing your own, and you have also created Arabic levels for your school, Arabic level 1, 2, and 3, and you opened 4 now. Where can I place this level in the actual proficiency scale? I want to know your 12th grade, where they line the actual proficiency scale so they can pass the Global Seal of Literacy and the AAPPL test too.
Yeah, the alignment will start with Novus High intermediate low. So the students, when they start Arabic 1, they will be Novus High or intermediate low. It depends. As I said, you need to do a benchmark test. Okay, some of them will score that in speaking, but they do not do it in writing. And as all of us knows from our experience, writing is the weakest part, correct? Reading, because of the support of the Quran and the Quran teacher, mashallah, the students can read fluently, okay, but the comprehension part is not good enough to support the speaking and to support the conversation and the writing. So quick answer, start the level from Novus High, because in the elementary, we expected that when we teach them, they move up with at least Novus High. And some of them will be, you know, above that level or lower that level. So in the middle school, they need to be in the intermediate, you know, levels in between intermediate low to intermediate high, or border in the edge of advanced low. So that when we say Arabic 2. So the Arabic 3, they will be advanced. And scale them from advanced 1 to 4, moving to the proficiency.
My last question, how much is instruction time in class daily at Al-Falah? And how much is the homeschool extracurricular outside of school timing dedicated to this?
I like, this is the hardest question for me to answer. If you ask me the question, the reverse question, how many free hours you have for your own life and do you enjoy it, your time out of the school time, that would be easier. Honestly, I work hard. I spend a lot of my time inside the school, outside of the school working. So all my time from 7:30 to 3:30 every day will be split in between observing lessons for teachers. I attend the classes with the teachers to observe the students, the teachers, and see how can I help them and assist both of them in the learning path. Plus, I have like a everyday meeting for like an hour with my team as a whole meeting to put together for all the teachers who teach from kindergarten to high school, and tie the relationship between all of them and see what they teach here, what they teach here, what they teach here, which make it easier for me to switch and swipe the teachers between. Is like she will be teaching couple of the elementary classes, couple of the middle school classes, couple of the high school classes. With it always switch and verse and push, so the teacher move in between these 3 schools to get more experience, and also to be helped, and also to be grow. If the teacher always teach the same grade, same level for more than 2 to 3 years, it is burning herself. How it burn herself? Because she will run out of ideas. She will run out with what is it, something new to do. The best thing is to move in and out in between these schools, so you see how the growth, the age, the environment, the growth of the students affect on how he's learning the language. So I do a meeting with all of them, like an hour daily. Also, I have a planning period with each one of them, one-to-one. I work one-to-one with each teacher for what she will be teaching each week. So I'm supervising 28 Arabic classes with 5 teachers, and the material will not be ready to be submitted to the students or to the teacher to be taught before me going and reviewing these 28 lesson plans where the materials need to be taught for the students.
How long is the class? How long is the class and how many?
45 minutes.
45. How many days? Is it 5 days?
Every day,
Every
5 days, and some of the classes they start, 5 days. Friday is included, but few classes do not take Friday because of the Salah, time that is. But we teach it every day for 45 minutes.
Sure. Okay. I'm sorry if I did not answer any other question. I think we have all the questions, but to finish, there is 2 forms. One, Miss Jumana sent, which is if you want the presentation, she can send it to you. The other one from my side, which is I need to know your name and email so we can send you a certificate of attendance for this workshop. If you are interested, I know you may need to go back to your principal and talk about it. Maybe you need to use the presentation. Maybe inshallah, I'll post this presentation in our CISNA WhatsApp group. You can look at it, share it with your principal. If you are interested, we will send later a message for you to show interest, and then we'll share with you our thought or what we think about moving forward on this program, inshallah. If there is any questions for me, please, you can text me or email me. I'm willing to help and answer any questions. If you want to leave, please go ahead. I'm gonna wait a little bit just to make sure if you need to use any of those links, you can. And alhamdulillah, we had a good number of attendants. Jazakumullah khair for the support, and Jazakumullahu khairan for giving this time during this Saturday. I know there is a lot of things, with your family and other stuff, but alhamdulillah, may Allah bless you and give you the barakah in your time, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم.
Alaikum assalam.